Vibrate, vibrate, and vibrate once again. What's up, 23% Nation? Your man, Coach D, is back. And guys, today I'm bringing to you reason number 2 of this amazing video series entitled 10 Reasons Why You Are Not Wealthy Yet. That's right, guys. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and dive deep tonight. As always, Coach D is going to first hit you with the problem. Then, of course, I'm going to give you several solutions as to how to best remedy this particular issue. So, tonight's problem is we as people, as neighbors, as a society, we are vibrating at a low emotional frequency. That's right, guys. The problem, once again, is that we are vibrating at a low emotional frequency. Now, 23% Nation, I do understand that you probably have never heard those words before, but allow me, Coach D, to break it down for you. When we talk about vibrating at a low emotional frequency, really what we're talking about are emotions that we feel, which some people may term as negative. So, what type of emotions are we specifically speaking about? Well, we're talking about emotions such as frustration, sadness, shame, fear, grief, guilt, sadness, depression, despair, envy, doubt, and let's not forget jealousy. Okay? So once again, guys, when we vibrate at a low emotional frequency, basically we are feeling negative emotions. All right? So hopefully that helps you understand what it means to vibrate at a low emotional frequency. Now, to help further explain this, I want to talk a little more about emotional wellness, which, as stated before, is actually one of the 8 dimensions of total wellness. Now, when we talk about emotional wellness, really what we're talking about is our ability to understand, acknowledge, and to effectively communicate the emotions that we are currently feeling. So, if you are feeling happiness, then it's great to express happiness. If you're experiencing sadness and shame, guilt, and grief, then it's absolutely okay for you to express and communicate those particular emotions whenever they arise. Now, if we take a look at the diagram that I have shown here, basically this is what we call the spectrum of emotions. Now, as you can see, starting at the very top is the emotion of enlightenment. Then there is peace, joy, love, reason, acceptance, and willingness. Now, if we focus at the bottom of the spectrum, we then have shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, and anger. So yes, guys, it is possible that a person such as yourself can experience the entire spectrum of emotions in one day. You see, you may meet someone that makes you happy. You may meet someone that makes you very upset. Okay? And today, I want to let you know that it is absolutely a-okay for you to feel exactly how you want to feel. But the caveat here is that you're able to understand these emotions, but more importantly, you need to be able to express these emotions. Now, let's talk a little more about high frequency versus low frequency emotions. Here's something that we must understand. High frequency emotions, such as peace, joy, and love, they allow the body to express expand, or we can use the word relax. That's right. And so when the body is in a relaxed state, that means that we can attract more of what we feel. So remember, we're talking about wealth and how we can attract more wealth into our lives. Well, it's very possible that we need to start vibrating at a higher emotional frequency. You see, guys, when your body is in a relaxed state, or as the diagram says, in an expanded state, that means that you can attract wealth, abundance, prosperity, and let's definitely not forget about good health. On the flip side, if you are experiencing low frequency emotions, that puts the body in what we call a contracted state of being. In other words, the muscles become tense. And because of that, that unfortunately will attract disease and sickness. That's right. So if you have a chronic way of being apathetic, feeling guilty, feeling shameful, then yes, you will not only attract people who also feel the same way, but you'll also attract everything that you pretty much don't want, such as disease, sickness, and all types of grief. So I hope that allows you to fully understand what emotional wellness is all about and the spectrum of emotions. Now, here's another question that you may be thinking about is how does this manifest? All right. So when we talk about low frequency emotions, once again, for those of you who really want me to just break it down in layman's terms, we're talking about these negative emotions. So they manifest themselves in several different ways. Number one is through our thoughts and our words. So perhaps you know people, or maybe you yourself at one point in time have thought these thoughts. I can't afford that. Maybe you said, I'm broke. Nothing comes easy. I can't afford that. I can't do that. Money doesn't grow on trees. I don't know. Or I've already tried that and it doesn't work. So if you've ever heard anyone say these things, or maybe you yourself have thought or said these things, then chances are, yes, you are definitely vibrating at a low emotional frequency. Now, here's something else. These emotions can also manifest themselves through your behavior. That's right. So not only do they affect our thoughts and our words, they also affect our behavior. Now, tonight, Coach D is going to coin a new term, and I'm going to call it the Dr. Foam Syndrome, which basically means you have given up. That's right, guys. Now, what I want to let you know is that the Dr. Foam Syndrome is actually an acronym, meaning each letter in the word Dr. Foam actually represents a word. So when we talk about the letter D, really what we're talking about is the word doubters. When we talk about the letter R, we're talking about rejection. When we talk about the letter F, F stands for failure. O stands for obstacles, A stands for apathy, and M stands for mistakes. You see how that works out? So remember, we're talking about low frequency emotions, i.e. negative emotions, sadness, fear, anger, grief, worry, shame, fear, okay? And so what happens is when we do not correctly acknowledge these emotions, when we do not correctly express these emotions, we suffer from the Dr. Foam Syndrome, which ultimately means we have given up on our hopes, our wishes, our dreams, any and everything that we want to accomplish in life. So now let's talk about the solution. In other words, how do we vibrate higher? Because ultimately that's what it's about. Ultimately, it's about us developing wealth. And in order to develop wealth, in order to develop riches and gain assets, We have to learn how to vibrate at a high emotional frequency, not dwell at the bottom of the barrel with the low emotional, with the low frequency emotions. All right. So solution number one is view mistakes and failures as learning opportunities. So here's a question that you may want to ask yourself. Actually, here are three questions that you may want to ask yourself. Question number one, what can I learn from my past mistakes and failures? Trust me, there is always something to learn. Question number two, what can I do differently? So if you've ever made a mistake and if you've ever failed, you got to ask yourself the question, what can I do differently? Obviously, we don't want to make another mistake. Obviously, we don't want to fail again. So you got to be willing to do something different. And the third question that you probably want to ask yourself is this: am I the only person who has ever made a mistake or failed at anything? Well, after doing some soul searching, you will probably come to the answer of no. Trust me, guys, there are approximately 7 billion people living on planet Earth, and at this point in time, chances are you are not the only person that has ever made a mistake or the only person that has ever failed at anything. Solution number two, view obstacles as stepping stones. Okay? Now, guys, let's be clear about an obstacle. An obstacle is anything that is preventing you from moving forward, right? You may have to go over it. You may have to go under it. You may even have to go around it. But always view obstacles as stepping stones. Now, the question is, how do we do that, Coach D? 23% Nation, I hear you. So, of course, I'm going to give you a solution. Here's what you want to do. You want to prime your emotions for roadblocks and setbacks. That's right. In other words, use your ability to foresee obstacles coming your way. You know that the road isn't always going to be smooth. There's going to be a roadblock. There's going to be an obstacle. There's going to be something that's going to get in your way. So prime your emotions. Also, have an attitude of gratitude. In other words, focus on what you've already accomplished. Also, be willing to go under, above, and around the obstacle. Do not allow these obstacles, whatever they may be, to get in your way to stop you. And last but not least, don't stay stuck, all right? In other words, be willing to step outside of your comfort zone. That's right. Because yes, in your comfort zone, you will be happy, you will be comfortable, but unfortunately, you will not progress. Solution number three, don't listen to or surround yourself with doubters, also known as the haters. Okay? Now, here's one thing that my grandmother used to always tell me, all right? You have not because you ask not. I'll say that once again. You have not because you ask not. So it's very important that we ask for help. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, in a previous video series, I talked about the Small Business Development Center, which is what SBDC means. Now, guys, they have centers all throughout the country. Being that I'm located in South Florida, we have several different small business development centers throughout Broward and Dade counties. So all you have to do is do a little bit of research, Google them, find out the nearest location, set up an appointment, and go to the appointment, right? Because they're there to offer you help. And by the way, did I mention that it was free? Oh yes, free 99. Also, get back to your mentors, guys. We've talked about mentors in the past. Now, Coach D always recommends that you have 3 mentors. One that's going to offer a masculine perspective, another one that's going to offer a feminine perspective, and you also got to go after your mirror image, meaning someone who looks exactly like you, who's also doing the same thing that you want to do, but of course to a greater degree. Now, for me, I have my mentors on tap. People like Tony Robbins, Les Brown, Eric Thomas, Iyanla Van Zandt, Infinite Waters, Barack Obama, even Donald Trump, Jim Rome. I mean, I could go on and on and on, guys. Whenever I feel a little depressed, whenever I have a hater or a doubter barking in my ears, all I have to do is fall back on my mentors. Not only do they give me a kick in the ass when I really need it, but they provide me with the motivation and the momentum to keep developing wealth. That's what it's all about, guys. So please do not listen to or surround yourself with haters and or doubters. Solution number 4. And this basically comes from my man, Tony Robbins. Love him. He says that in order for us to make a serious change in our lives, that we must take radical, massive action. So Coach D just wants to put his spin on it and simply say that we need to vibrate higher through radical, massive action. And in order to do that, guys, today I gotta promote the 23% challenge. Participating in the 23% challenge will allow you to vibrate higher. That's right, guys. So let's not forget about Nature Day, Money Day, Gratitude Day, Love Day, Forgiveness Day, Exercise Day, and of course, there is a Wealth Day. That's right. So very quickly, for those of you who are not familiar with the 23% challenge, guys, it's a 7-day wellness program that will allow you to vibrate at a high emotional frequency. So if you are feeling grief, fear, anxiety, depression, worry, guilt, don't fret. Coach D, along with the 23% challenge, is here to help you out. So guys, if you want to develop wealth, if you want to vibrate at a high emotional frequency, then definitely participate in the 23% challenge. Solution number 5. Stay focused through daily progress. That's right, guys. Daily progress is all about taking baby steps. That's right. Coach D always recommends that you create a list of 3 to 5 things that you must absolutely do every single day, yes, weekends included, so that you move forward towards the riches and the wealth that you so truly want. So, if you need to make a call, make a call. If you need to send someone an email, send an email. If you need to write somebody a text, then go ahead and text them. Or if you prefer social media, then go ahead and make your social media posts. Maybe you want to schedule a meeting. Maybe you want to read a book, a magazine, or someone's blog post, preferably your mentor's blog post. Or you may want to watch a video, perhaps a video featuring your mentor. Okay? So guys, it's very important that we stay focused. How do we do that? Through daily progress. In other words, baby steps. So create a list of 3 to 5 things that you need to get done every single day and make sure you execute everything that's on that list. Solution number 6, and I believe this is the last solution, okay, is that we have to examine our isolation to cure apathy. Now, guys, when we talk about the word apathy, really what we're talking about is laziness, is indifference, is basically you not willing to pursue your passions, your hopes, and your wishes and your dreams. You see, oftentimes people become apathetic. Why? Because they isolate themselves. They don't seek mentors. They stay away from their friends, from their family members. Okay? So, in order to cure that isolation, right, this is what you got to do. Go to a conference, go prospecting, go to a networking event, go to a workshop, and if everything fails, call up your best friend, right? I mean, your best friend is someone that you love, trust, honor, and respect, and hopefully you enjoy their company, okay? So allow your best friend to step in to not only cure your apathy, but to also allow them to help you vibrate at a higher emotional frequency. Think about it this way. How do you feel when you're around your best friend? You talk, you laugh, you have a great time together, right? Well, it's all about love. So at this point, it's very important for us to open our heart and to open our minds to love. So why don't you go ahead, pick up the phone, call your best friend, and say, hey, what are you doing tonight? Let's hang out. Okay? Get it? Got it? Good. Question of the day, question of the day, and question of the day once again. Are you suffering from the Dr. Foam syndrome? Okay, now guys, let's quickly remember that the Dr. Foam syndrome basically means that you have given up. Okay, so the question once again is, are you suffering from the Dr. Foam syndrome? Guys, I want to thank you for watching. I definitely want to thank you for listening. As always, let's eat well, feel well, think well, do well, be well. This is your man, Coach D. I'm signing out. Never ever forget, Coach D loves you. God bless. Stay tuned because reason number 3 is definitely coming your way soon.